Hello again and welcome back to my channel. We're going to carry on with the background of the snowflake as well as the rest of the background for this page, and we will be using Neocolor IIs. So let's get started. Okay, so I checked the colors for the pom-poms on the hat and on the mitten, and we're using PC 1074 70% French grey, PC 1070 30% French grey and white, and I'm just going to use them to build up inside here. So let's get started. Okay, so taking PC 1074 along the edge and in. So we're going to just do like a gradient. And then we'll do out here. Okay, do a little bit here. Then PC 1070, which is the 30% French grey, and then just go over it and out. And then we'll use the white and we'll just blend it all out. Because we don't want it like really dark grey. We're just wanting the grey to give a bit of colour to the white. Otherwise it looks really flat and not very appealing. And you also want enough pigment on the paper to be able to move it around with the white pencil. I think we have about an hour left of colouring before this will be done, because we have the background to do. And although the background will be relatively quick, it takes time. It always amazes me at how much time I can spend colouring up something. But I am trying to do this a bit quicker so that it can be done for December finished pages. Okay, now the white, but we need to clean the white from all the red, so just give your white a good clean. because the last thing you want is red streaks in your beautiful mitten. Okay, so starting in the white zone, in and out, and we're going to just basically burnish this now. Okay, there we go. If we take PC 1074 and we just go around the edges, we'll just redefine them. And there we have it. So all that is left is our background. Okay, so background, Neocolors. I have the set of 30. And my choices in colors were quite limited. So I played around. I had olive colors, but I don't think that the olive would work with this green. So I'm kind of leaning towards this one, which is Neocolor IIs, Emerald Green, Yellow Green, Prussian Blue, and the Prussian Blue is just to add a deeper shade of to the green, to the Emerald Green, because we don't want it completely light. We do want a bit of depth to it some places. And then we will use the white Neocolor to create white circles on top of it when it's dry, and that will give it almost like shimmering lights in the background. At least that's sort of what I'm going for. So I'm going to try put quite a bit of pigment on because I don't want it washed out. I want it quite opaque. You could use gouache paints if you have. I decided, because I said I would use Neocolor IIs, I would just commit to that. If you find anything in your Inktense, you could try Inktense, but I'm not sure it will layer up as nicely. You might need to go over it multiple times. I just felt that the Neocolors would be a nice play. Okay, I'm going to start off with green. All right, so I'm using Emerald Green. Can you see how indecisive I am? I'm going to lift you up so you can see me doing the whole page at the same time. Okay, stick that in the back so that we don't get lines. So I was watching a video last night by Coloring with Elena, and she used a similar background. Actually, she was the inspiration. I saw one of her videos on all her coloring pages and completed works, and when I saw this particular background, I was really impressed, and I thought that's exactly what we need for our picture. So I had a play. I can't match her colors because she didn't use Neocolor. She actually used water pencils. But I thought the idea she showed with the white or the light yellow over her watercolor background would work really well to create the illusion of what do you call it, Christmas lights. So I thought, you know, it would really work well, because then it's sort of giving that bokeh effect without the tediousness of a bokeh background, because I just don't feel like coloring a bokeh background with pencil. Then I'm going to use the yellow green, and I'm going to go over and out. Okay. Dear Lord, let it work. Prussian blue, and I'm going to go over some of the emerald green. Just to deepen it. Okay, let's put some water to this and see how it turns out. Hopefully it actually works out okay. So I'm going to use a water brush. I think, yeah, I've got a parental water brush, and we're going to start in the lightest green and work our way out. Just waiting for the water to get on. Yeah, there we go. And have a bit of paper, you know, paper towel or tissue paper to I was reluctant to use yellow because I didn't want to make it the background so bright it would to take attention away from the mouse, because we've really worked hard on this mouse and he does look super cute. So as I'm busy using my pencil brush, I'm dabbing the page with the tissue just to help lift off any excess pigment. I'm also regularly brushing my paintbrush into my tissue paper, squeezing with a bit of water to get rid of any excess pigment that I've picked up with my paintbrush. And I do this throughout the lighter area of the background. And when I get closer to that emerald green, I just pull in some of the emerald green into that lighter yellow green, and to create a smoother transition between the colors. I carry on with the same technique into the emerald green, and as I come closer towards that Prussian blue, I continue to blend the Prussian blue and the emerald green together in a similar way I have done for the emerald green and the yellow green. I'm just lifting off some of the yellow green. I find with these two colors you need to be quite careful when you blend them out, because it's very easy to get the emerald green to blend too much into the yellow green, and we don't want lines, we want like a nice smooth transition. It was around this point in my background I realized that I needed to dab the paintbrush with a lot more liquid onto the paper in order to help transition that emerald green into that yellow green. And as I dab the paper back and forth, being careful to not pull too much of that emerald green into my yellow green, I was able to blend out the colors in a smoother gradient and to remove any lines, so it became more of a haze around the picture. And I did this technique throughout the rest of the background, making sure to squeeze extra water onto the paper whenever I felt it was getting linear and not well blended out. And I would also dab any excess water I needed with my tissue paper. At this point in the picture, this dabbing technique, which I use for my galaxy backgrounds, is working really well. I am really enjoying the effect it's creating around the picture, and I think it is going to work really well at the end when we add those white and yellow dots. So I carry on for the rest of the picture, going back and forth, adding color where I need to, and just making sure I have that beautiful blended look throughout. Okay, I want to pick up some of this lemon yellow. And then I just squeeze my brush and dab it, and I'm hoping it will blend it much better than a You can use this technique to help you blend out any areas where you are unhappy with the transition of colors, or if you feel that there are too many areas that are light in pigment. And there we go. Okay, so the paper is buckled because of the amount of water I've used, but on the other side there isn't much bleed through, so that's quite good. Okay, so we've got our white Neocolor. Mine's a bit dirty, and what we're going to do is let this dry, and then I'm going to come over with white, and I'll try a bit of yellow, and we'll create circles and create that bokeh background. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, so what I did is I took a iron and an extra piece of cardstock. I put the cardstock on top of my picture, and I ironed the back. Then I ironed on top of the cardstock, and it just helps to dry it, and also helps the page to go flat again. So now I've got my Neocolor white, and we're going to go and put the circles. I also have the yellow, and we're gonna work and see what works. Mix them up, some white dots, some yellow dots. You can use a stencil. I don't have a stencil, so I'm just going to make my circles. All right, let's put in some white dots. Next, I'm going to take my Sakura jelly roll, and I'm just going to put in a few stars. I'm just trying to lighten up some of this grey. Well, I think that we are done. Thank you so much for joining me in this color along. Thank you for all the feedback. I'm sorry it took so long. I hope that you will be able to complete this page before the end of December in time for your December finished pages. And yeah, thank you. This has been really, really fun. If you have enjoyed this color along and would like to see more, if you would like to see more of my reviews, any flip throughs, my finished works, and any other coloring related things I release on my channel, please be sure to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, comment below, and check out my Instagram. Thanks so much. Until next time, bye for now.